welcome back. So today, a bit of a different video, but I've got an electrical fault to show you guys which is related to the central lock-in. It's very common. A lot of garages change control units because they don't know about this electrical fault. So if you're having an electrical fault, you've probably clicked on this video, so you're in the right place. Let's see. Right, so first of all, let's just get this out there. Apologies for the mess. I'm currently in the middle of getting things ready to bring the leisure battery split charge in, start doing the wiring running for that. I'm also couldn't bear to think that it was like this underneath, so I've took all the carpet out, which you don't necessarily need to do, but I wanted to clean all of this area and sound deaden it and do some insulation under the actual carpet itself. You remember, if you ever watched the original headlining video, which I'll put the link to that in the description below, I found mice. So there's also traces of mice, or will be the same mice probably, but I wanted to clear all that up and get their droppings out and stuff like that. I didn't want to be living in here and not really knowing what it's like under here. So these are going to be wrapped in leather, these panels here, to look like that. And I've got two Caro bucket seats. In fact, let's go into the house now and have a look at those. They are a reclinable Recaro bucket seat, half leather. I'm really looking forward to getting these in. I've got to modify the driver's seat base. I'm just waiting for a passenger seat base to come at the moment, so when that's arrived I'm going to do a video on how to fit these style seats into your T5. I'm going to do a few other little jobs, like remove the unnecessary wiring and try and remove the side airbags because they won't be plugged in and it's unnecessary weight. That's something up and coming. But anyway, back to the van. Excuse the little helper, but today's video is going to be showing you guys a central locking fault that occurs from inside this wiring harness here. So this is the control unit that sits under your driver's seat. As I've been posting pictures on Instagram and videos of the progress so far, which by the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you're welcome to. Wanna go? Go on then. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'll put the link in the description box below. I had a friend, a good friend of mine, very good mechanic, very skilled, very knowledgeable. He messaged me explaining about there's a break in the harness here, and what it is, we're going to unwrap it now and we're going to see if this has been compromised, but also I'm going to show you the problem and explain to you how to resolve it and what to do. Right, so when you take all this wiring back, you'll see this here. See that there, and this here. Now I'll unwrap the tape. This is the problem area. I'll unwrap the tape and I'll show you what that is. Here we go. Look guys, I've literally only been trying to undo this tape to expose the concerned areas, and the wire, can you see that? See how green? So when you've got wiring like this where it was copper or solder and it's gone green, that's normally water ingress, so it's either got wet over time or the condensation and stuff has just wore it away. But look, I've literally only touched that and it's fell off. Apologies for the quality, I'm not sure if you can see that very well. So tools you will need to do this job are some heat shrink, some wiring harness tape, you can just use black electrical tape if you like, some wire strippers or some side cutters, a little bit of wire, solder and a soldering iron. So I recommend cutting a bit further back, maybe about an inch back from where the green corrosion and the junction was, which was that part there. If you lay it all together there, what you've cut out, that's pretty good measurement now for piece to put in with your new wire, because if you just cut that out and then solder it together, you go into, let me try and, you're going to pull it tight like that. So you want it to still follow this rest of the harness and you want it to be the same length as it was before. So unfortunately you're going to have to put a new piece of wire in, try and get as close to the same gauge as possible, measure what you've got, and then solder it in. On this model, this part here is unused. It was just left loose. I've checked all in this harness. There's not another half or another piece to this, so I'm not sure why that is. Yours might be the same, yours might not. The one that my friends have done, has sent me a picture of, actually had the two wires connected, so he had to solder these two together and then another two. So you would have had to do 4 bits of soldering in total. But I'll do that now, and then I'll show you guys what it's like and the end result that you're kind of going to try and aim for if possible. This is it done. Excuse the soldering. I'm not the best. I mean, it's all penetrated. It's okay, but I'm no, experienced auto electrician or anything. But soldered underneath there. I've put the shrink wrap on over the top to try and make it a nice job. Obviously I've extended it, I've removed that extra tail which was not used on this model, and it's long enough now so I can wrap it back into a nice shape and it matches all the rest of the wiring. Right, so apologies that I keep going on and going off. However, this video is meant to be as informative as I can make it, because I want you guys to be able to fix these problems yourself, because it's going to save you £200-300 garage repairs, a lot of labour, a lot of investigation time, and you can spend that camping with your kids or actually being out in the bus enjoying life, what these are for, rather than it being in the garage. This is a bit of a mongrel video. If you are unsure how to take the driver's seat out, if you give it a week or two from this video going live, I'm going to be probably putting the custom interior, the front seat replacement video, that will be live, and on that video is a how to get the front seat out, or there is other, I'd imagine there's probably other YouTube videos on how to remove the seat already, so feel free to look at those. So that will help you get to that point, and when you're at that point you'll be able to get to the control unit and the harness that we're working with now quite comfortably. So wait for that to come out and I'll show you how to take the seat out. But this is why this is a great tip, and also if you're this far along, or if you're doing anything, if you're going to be working in your seat base, your driver's seat base for your leisure battery or anything like that, it's worth doing this now, because a friend of mine has done 4 or 5 of these, and in fact 2 or 3 of those had already been to another garage and they couldn't fix it. They had a central locking problem and they ended up changing the control unit, because that's what most garages jump to. So he's done 4 or 5 and they've all been this wire. I'm not saying yours is. If you haven't got a problem, you probably haven't clicked on this video, or if you haven't got it all stripped out, it's not worth stripping it out just to see this. Just bear in mind, or remember the fact that if you have a problem in the future, this is the first thing to check. It's quite cheap and easy to check. Like I said, if it's stripped out, you might want to do it like I am now, because it makes sense to do it now. This fan is a 05 plate. I had to think then. This fan is an 05 plate. It's a 1.9, so it's an older one. So I can't confirm, because I didn't ask him, I forgot to be honest, but I can't confirm for exactly how long they did this setup in terms of years of vans and engines. But generally, because it's the central locking, I would guarantee, not guarantee, but I would generally guess that they would have kept this setup the same, because they haven't changed the structure of the van. They've just changed as they've facelifted them, they've changed the bumpers and things like that. So definitely bear this in mind, guys. This is a real good tip. So then, now this is finished, this is what it's looking like. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it's all taped back up, it's all in good order. The only other thing I'd do now is check your terminals inside your control unit, just in case there's any water ingress or anything in there, like there's a little bit in that corner. So I'll clean that off, and then what you want to do is you want to plug it in. In fact, I probably would recommend doing this before you tape it up, depending on how confident you are with your soldering. So plug it all in, get the right plugs, does help, and then make sure that central locking works. Right, so there we have it. Just a quick little video, guys. I mean, if this helps you, or if you've done yours and you found similar, comment below, because I love to hear your stories. But other than that, thanks for watching. I really hope this has helped you to fix your own, or when you have got a problem, to diagnose it a lot faster than it potentially could have been. Awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.